Whatever your taste in music, this will get you started. Even the brilliant pianists and composers Brahms, Beethoven and Irving Berlin had to start somewhere before they went on to amaze and delight the world with their music. So we too will start by playing only the white notes with the right hand. It won't be long after that before you find you're playing with the left hand, and then both hands with the black notes as well. These black notes are useful, even at this early stage. You can see the repeating pattern of 2 and 3 black notes. C is always on the left-hand side of each group of 2 black notes. F is always on the left-hand side of each group of 3 black notes. And middle C is, quite reasonably, the C nearest the middle of the keyboard. The other notes fit in alphabetical order up to G, and then start again at A. Let's get going now and see how the notes on the page of printed music tie in with the notes on your instrument, whether you're using a piano or a digital keyboard. The first thing you'll notice is that the notes in your keyboard go up the scale from left to right, while printed music goes up the scale from bottom to top. This is the scale of C major, going up 2 octaves, which means starting on middle C. This is shown on the left here because we won't be using any notes below it just yet. We will be going from middle C up to the next C for the first octave. An octave is 8 notes. And then going on for the second octave, which will take us to the next C. There is something musically satisfying about starting on a C and arriving at the next C. It feels as though you've arrived at the end of a journey. The scale of C is probably the simplest tune in the world. It is important to get your hand and fingers ready to play the notes. We're just coming to Pop Goes the Weasel. The composer seems to have thought of this because all the notes except one fit under the hand in this position. And we are starting as we mean to go on, no random prodding at the keys with just the forefinger. This shows the thumb ready to play middle C, the first note of this tune. The thumb is shown in all keyboard music as finger number 1. You will be able to keep this hand and finger position almost all the way through Pop Goes the Weasel. For the first 3 lines, you will be using finger number 1 to 5, the little finger, without moving your hand to the left or right. All these notes are conveniently placed under your hand. It is only for the first note of line number 4, an A, that you'll have to move your 5th finger up 1 key from where it has been poised over the G. Then let it go back to where it was so that the last 4 notes can be played with your fingers in their original position. D with the 2nd finger, F with the 4th finger, E with the 3rd finger, then back home to C with the thumb. Here it comes, played slowly, so that you can see the relation between the printed music, the sound, and the corresponding notes on the keyboard. For simplicity, this has been changed from 6/8 to 3/4 time. We'll discuss time later on. Now let's take those 4 lines up to a more reasonable tempo. Can you keep up? If that version played on the vibraphone was a bit too fast, there's a picture coming up showing you how to pause the video so you can try out what you've just seen. In this first part of learning to play keyboards, we've seen the notes on printed music played by the right hand, and we have seen which notes on your keyboard are indicated by those printed notes. Many musicians call these printed notes dots. What we're doing here is showing you how to turn a mass of dots on the page into music you can enjoy playing and others will enjoy hearing. Keep practicing Pop Goes the Weasel and the other tunes in this video, and by the end of part 7, you will have graduated into a simplified version of the delightful Melody in F by Anton Rubinstein. The next video is Learning to Play Keyboards, Part 2.